Hi there, and welcome to episode 70 of the FSBO Smarts podcast. I'm Steve Klein. Now, last episode we talked about when not to use a real estate agent for your for sale by owner journey. And in this episode, we're going to talk about when to use a real estate agent to sell your home. Now, there may be times when there is situations where you may need a real estate agent, and I want to make sure that you're aware of how that works. And this is what we're going to talk about in this episode coming up. Hi there, welcome to today's episode of the FSBO Smarts podcast, where we help you navigate the world of real estate and for sale by owner. I'm your host, Stephen Klein, and today we're going to delve into the topic that many homeowners find themselves pondering. When should you use a real estate agent to sell your home? Selling a home could be a big decision in any case, and it often is a feeling that you could get that feels overwhelming. In today's episode, we're going to explore the benefits of doing it with a professional and what circumstances might you consider doing it on your own, and if you have a question on choosing the right real estate agent or realtor. Plus, we'll share some real-life examples to give you a clear picture, so that you can know whether you're a first-time home buyer or home seller rather, or if you're a seasoned professional. This will give you some examples and some tips. Now, before we get started, I wanted to give you a quick story. There was a few years ago, a friend of mine decided to sell his home. He thought, well, how hard can it be? After all, he had some experience. He had some experience in sales, and he figured that he could handle it on his own. But a few weeks turned into a few months, and he realized he was getting way over his head. And then some other things came up in life, and in the end, he hired a real estate agent. Now, this can be beneficial, especially if you've had your house on the market for a while, and let's just say you have things coming up in your life like a move or things like that. Well, these are prime examples of when you would want to use a real estate agent. First, let's define the roles of what we're talking about when we speak about real estate agent or realtor. There's a few different classifications. So the difference between a realtor and a real estate agent, sometimes people use those terms interchangeably, and they kind of are, but they're really not exactly the same. A real estate agent is someone who has obtained a license to assist in the buying and selling of real estate. They are trained in the legalities, they understand the marketplace, and they can guide you through the complexities of the transaction. Now, a realtor, on the other hand, he or she is a real estate agent who is also a member of the National Association of Realtors, or NAR. This membership means that they adhere to a strict code of ethics and standards and practices. The main takeaways here is that while all realtors are real estate agents, not all agents are realtors. Being part of a professional organization like the NAR often means additional resources and a commitment to higher standards and best practices. And this can be significant. It's a significant advantage. Now, you might remember in a few episodes early on in this year, we talked about the NAR's statistics. And we were using those statistics to gauge how well our for sale by owner home sale would actually be. Now, there are many advantages of using a realtor or a real estate agent. One is their marketing expertise. And a lot of people feel like this is a big advantage. Realtors and real estate agents have deep understanding of the local market trends. They know how to price a home. They know how crucial it is to sell a home for you, but also they don't want to get the price too high and they don't want to get the price too low. They try to market it in around that sweet spot, I always say. Their knowledge helps strike a balance between what the market will bear and what you need to in order to sell your home. So the bottom line is they do the best job that they can for you. Another benefit is that their extensive network and resources. A realtor has a broad network of potential buyers, other agents that they network with, including industry professionals. And they can recommend reputable photographers to take stunning photos of your home, stage it into the best way it looks the best, and hire great inspectors to ensure that there's no hidden issues ahead of time, so that when the buyer gets their inspector, they know right away what to expect. Now, selling a home involves negotiating, and realtors are very skilled at negotiations. Now, I mentioned before, if you're doing it on your own, I think this is one of the funnest part of it is working with the buyer. But their experience allows them to negotiate counteroffers and contingencies and occasionally lowball offers with ease. They can actually do that for you. So it's really a great resource. Now, of course, the paperwork is always an aspect that you as a home seller may not want to delve into. And realtors and real estate agents are well versed in the documentation of earnest money agreements, closing and escrow, and disclosures. There's a lot of disclosures that you need to understand and know about if you're selling your home for sale by owner. A realtor could handle a lot of that for you. And again, this comes down to not just a cost savings, because you're actually going to have to pay them your commission fee, or their commission fee rather. What it comes down to is a saving of yourself in time, and how valuable is your time worth to you. Now, you, again, may be in a situation where you really need to sell this home yourself to save that money. But if you don't, and your time is valuable right now, or you have other considerations, you can consider doing it with a real estate agent. So if you have other things going on in your day life, outsourcing the sales process to an agent may really make sense for you. So when should you consider doing it on your own? For sale by owner, or FSBO? While using the real estate agent may be an advantage and it saves you time and all the things we just talked about, there are times when you need to do it on your own and we refer to it as for sale by owner, or FSBO. So let's talk about when the right decision or right time where it makes sense. So again, potential savings. If you want to save money, that's when you want to do the FSBO route to save that commission. Realtors typically charge anywhere from 5 to 6%. It used to be 7%, but I think standard now has come down because real estate prices have gone up so much. By selling it on your own, you can potentially save 100% of that commission. If you sell the house yourself, you show it, and you write up the contract. Those three things and more. There's more to it than that. Also, the market conditions. If the market conditions are such that people are selling homes very quickly, then you should try it on your own at first. And again, that's up to you. This episode is really kind of towards when you want to use a real estate agent, but I just want to give you, because the whole podcast is around for sale by owner, so I want to end with the way that you can do it yourself. And finally, I've said this in the past, if you have experience and knowledge on selling your home for sale by owner, then this is by far the best way. You can utilize your own skills and your own talents to do that. And again, I just want to say lastly that any of the situations that you might have, be it like there might be a personal situation where you need to save that money, that commission, there might be times where you need that money for another down payment on a new house. Those situations will dictate what you do as a home seller, be it hiring a real estate agent, hiring a realtor, or doing it yourself. So let me give you one example. Let's take Sarah, who decided to sell her home last year. She hired a realtor, provided expert advice and staging her home, pricing her home, priced it competitively, and marketed it to a wide audience. And within 3 weeks to, I think it was a month, had multiple offers and sold their home $20,000 above the asking price. Now this is at a time when markets were high, and she probably could have sold it on her own, but the fact is she didn't have time at that specific time and had the real estate agent do it. Now you might say, well, gosh, that's only 3 weeks to a month. I could have done that. And then you could have saved that money. But think about the time that was saved as well. So part of doing that with an agent really made sense, right? So let's contrast this with Tom. Tom, who chose to do the FSBO route, he put the time and effort into the process and doing it on his own without a professional, but he had negotiating skills and he had the right timing, because on Saturdays he was free. He showed the house on Saturdays, had an open house, and even though he sold his house at a lower price, he still ended up saving a lot more money because he didn't hire the real estate agent or sign a contract with them, and was able to save 6% of the commission, all just by doing it on his own. So when it comes down to it, the bottom line is you need to have a balance of perspectives, and you have to do what's right for you in your situation. Now, there's several questions that you need to ask yourself when you're going to choose a real estate agent or a realtor. So let's discuss those because I think it's really important. So first, if you're trying to hire a professional to sell your home, ask about their experience and their track record. How many years have they been doing this, and how many years have they been in business? How many homes have they sold, and has any sold recently? This gives you an idea of their success rate and their experience. Also, you can ask them about the marketing strategy that they're going to use because you might have one in your own mind of what you would do if you sold your own home for sale by owner, but do they have a marketing plan? Do they have an online presence? What are they going to list your house with? Are they on social media? A good realtor will have a comprehensive marketing plan. It takes everything in consideration. What's their communication styles? It's crucial to understand how they communicate with you and knowing that if they are setting you off, perhaps it's not a good fit because they might set off the would-be buyer, and you don't want that. Also, get references and reviews. If you've seen reviews online for this real estate agent or realtor that you're thinking about hiring, don't hesitate to ask people for reviews as well. Like if you have seen them sell a house down the street, for example, you could ask them and say, hey, I saw that you used so-and-so for your real estate sale. How did it go? And they're more likely to be free with the information. Finally, understand their fee structure because it's crucial to know what their commission rates are. Some people charge additional fees that you may not even have considered, so it's really important to understand, and sometimes you can even negotiate a less expensive fee. So let me give you that really quick. This is a side tip. What I've found is that if I start putting my for sale by owner sign in my yard, all of a sudden real estate agents start contacting you. So let's just say you weren't even really planning on doing for sale by owner, but you kind of thought about it and you thought, well, maybe I'll do it for like a couple weeks or a month. If you start putting that for sale by owner sign, I guarantee you that real estate agents will call you and then they're going to ask you, hey, what if I sold your home for you? Now, of course, you still have to do your due diligence like we just talked about. Make sure they have experience, make sure they have a reputation and a good background and a track record. But get this, they may be able to offer you 2, 3, even 4% discount on the real estate agent commission fees. Why are they going to do this, you might ask? Well, you've already done most of the work for them. You know how to prep your home. You know how to make your home look presentable. And you already have the inclination of knowing how to bring a person through your home, make it look generic so that it's not your home. You already know how to take the personal photos off the walls, for example. They don't even have to do that work now. You save them a ton of money, or well, a ton of time, and hopefully make them more money. So it's a win-win for them. So anyway, that's just a little tip I wanted to give you. So let me look at some questions here that I've gotten on this because this is kind of what brought this whole thing up. So can I negotiate a commission rate with my real estate agent? Yes, and that's exactly what I just said. Absolutely. Commission rates are not set in stone and they can be negotiated. And it's worth discussing up front to ensure that you guys have all of this negotiating, the terms and all that kind of thing. Okay, so let's get on to the second question here. So how long does it take to typically sell your home with a real estate agent? Again, a lot of that varies. It depends on the market conditions, the conditions of your home, the price, and the average sell in your area. Like let's just say it's a couple weeks to a month, then you can kind of determine that as a kind of like a gauge. You know, it's kind of funny because you really don't know. Just when you're doing it for sale by owner, it's the same exact thing when you're selling it through a real estate agent because a lot of this is just market driven. A lot of it's dictated by what's happening in the marketplace. Okay, and this is the next question. What if I'm not happy with my real estate agent? Can I get out of it or terminate the contract? Yeah. So unfortunately, when you have signed up with the real estate agent, it's really hard to get out of a contract once you've signed your name on the dotted line. This is their attempt to basically they want to do the best for you. But at the same time, if you get a new real estate agent who's green and doesn't know a lot of stuff, it might be difficult in that situation for you as a home seller to get out of that contract, because I know that you may want to because they're not selling your home, or maybe you're not satisfied with their work. You could also bring it up to your state's real estate board or talk with an attorney. But the bottom line is, once you sign an agreement with the real estate agent, you're kind of locked in. So I would say be very careful and know that you really want to be in it for whatever the duration is. 3 months, 6 months to a year. A lot of times a real estate agent could tie your home up. Just know that that's going to be a consideration when you're using a real estate agent. So to wrap up on these key points, if you're using a real estate agent, just make sure that they have expertise, they have a broad network, strong negotiation skills, paperwork, all of that. They can help you tremendously in those situations. It's a viable option if you're looking to save time, but do know that they're going to charge you a high commission rate. And that's what we on this channel here, and also the FSBO Smarts podcast, try to help you by saving that commission fee. But if you do need to hire a real estate agent, I always say they're going to come out of the woodwork, especially when you start listing your house for sale by owner, and they may even give you a discount. So keep that in mind. Keep a list of the real estate agents that reach out and contact you when you're selling your home, because this is the list that, at least the one I do, this is the list that you can keep, and you can make a list of the people that are really good and have really given you help, not just try to get your business, but really have offered you something. And then those rise to the top of my list. I'm like, hey, this agent gave me this statistic that I never knew about in my neighborhood. Boom. Top of my list for a real estate agent that I might use if my home sale doesn't go through. Now, for me personally, that's never happened yet, because I've always sold my own homes myself, but it may be that way for you. So just keep that in mind. All right, thank you for joining me in this episode of the FSBO Smarts podcast. I hope you found it valuable. If you have, consider subscribing to this podcast and leaving us a review. It really helps. And also leave in the comments below if you've had a great experience with an agent, or if you've had a great experience selling your own home for sale by owner, and what your thought processes were around that. All right, take care, and until next time, we're going to see you in the next episode.